Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for 6 things that we learned from Newcastle to Chelsea 0. I tell you what, based on the 90 minutes of football that we've seen, I'm actually not that mad right now because genuinely, that second half performance, considering we were left with 10 men out there on the pitch. You know why? Because our striker, the man that we decided is going to lead our line for this football club, has literally looked at the Newcastle defender, ran into him and been like, do you know what? I forgot about how many elbows I've seen in my lifetime, about how many red cards that's equated to. I'm just going to go absolute class A bellend, mate. Honestly, Nicolas Jackson, not only did he get sent off, which left us playing with 10 men at the hardest ground to go away from home to in the Premier League. Oh, don't worry about that, mate. We're 1-0 down inside the first 2 minutes. And then you go and do something like that. Pathetic. Honestly, I understand why people might say, get him out. I was on the stream. I'm thinking like, get this twat out my club. Don't play up front for me ever again. Don't worry. This season, he's not going to play up front again because he gets a straight red card, which means he misses the game against Man United. He misses the game against Nottingham Forest. And blimey O'Reilly, if you think he deserves to play against Real Betis in the cup final, get out, mate. That's an embarrassment. Nicolas Jackson today, absolute disgrace. Game management from Chelsea. Minute number 2, we go into it and we're letting Newcastle put pressure on us. Romeo Lavia's there. And look, I love Lavia. You guys know this. I think the lineup from Maresca was absolutely spot on. I wouldn't have chosen anything else. But he's already trying to receive the ball, turn with the ball, look around with the ball, fit into the game. What did I say in the preview to this match? What does any Chelsea fan know when you go to St James's Park? You're going to get a team that has got 58,000, however many thousands fans behind them inside the stadium who are literally playing like the 12th, 13th men on the pitch. And for the start of the match, at least, they were giving out free pints at St James's Park before kickoff. Do you know why? To make sure that they created a cauldron of noise. To make sure they created a cauldron of atmosphere. The pressure is on. Sandro Tonali arrives in the box and he scores. And Chelsea are 1-0 down. Game over. In the second minute of the match, game over. You know why? Because we didn't know how to react. We didn't have any other way of playing. The whole game plan became voided. Because we concede an early goal, we're under massive pressure, we don't deal with the massive pressure in the biggest game of our flipping season. And I'm not going to sit here on GBFC, 6 things we learned, and say, well, Champions League is over, because it's not over. It's absolutely not over. We can beat Man United, we can beat Nottingham Forest away, I believe that. But to understand the levels required to go to a difficult stadium, to be at St James's Park, you have got to give yourself a chance. And we didn't even give ourselves a chance. We're 1-0 down inside the second minute of the game. And then the Nicolas Jackson red card, the more I watched the replays, the angrier I got. Because there's no jeopardy there whatsoever. Didier Drogba, and Diego Costa, right? They're my Chelsea strikers. Did you ever see Diego Costa get sent off for Chelsea? I'll wait. I shall wait. Did I ever see Diego Costa knowing how to rile up a Premier League centre-back? Oh, bloody you bet I flipping did. Jackson has looked at him. What the bloody hell are you playing at, you Class A prat? You prat. This team needed you out there today. Yeah, you did nothing when you were on the pitch. Yes, when you went off, we actually played better than you did when we were on it. But we needed 11 men. We needed 11 warriors at St James's Park, and you went and got yourself a straight red for petulance, stupidity. I'm fuming with him. Absolutely fuming. I'm glad he ain't playing between now and the end of the season. And I'll say it now, just to cover what I've just said, because I'm livid. This is 6 things we learned. The post-match reaction series here on GBFC. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you want to support the channel. Nicolas Jackson is a good footballer. But when it comes to managing himself in moments where you must manage yourself at the highest level, not there yet. You know why? Because he's a kid. He's still a kid. Unproven, not done anything at the highest level in football, no flipping wonder. By an elite striker. Do it tomorrow. Bid for Osimhen today. Tonight. Do it. If you're serious. Anyway, I'm just going to go down a ranty rabbit hole here. So we're going to move now into the boxes here on 6 things we learned. Cue the flipping graphic. Box number 1 is a red for Nicolas Jackson. Because Chelsea Football Club today, we went into this game knowing what was at stake, didn't we? I knew what was at stake. You knew what was at stake in this game. And I don't know if Nicolas Jackson does know what's at stake. Because look, there's elbows, right? You've seen 50-50 challenges before. I've seen them before. I've seen players and strikers go into defenders and they're accidentally knocking the... He is looking the whole time in a position of no jeopardy. There's no pressure. Chelsea aren't going to concede a goal if he doesn't win the header. But he goes in literally like, are you thick? Are you thick? Like, I don't really want to talk about it much more because it's just upsetting to know that in a game that is so valuable. And I know that I hype this game up big time. Do you know why? Because it's for the Champions League. Man City drew with Southampton yesterday 0-0. And Aston Villa won away at Bournemouth. Great result for Aston Villa. Well done. And Chelsea today, we could have gone within 1 point of Arsenal. We could have been here. We could have been there. But in the second half, we were actually really good. We were better when our striker got sent off. It's not like Maresca changed it and brought someone on to replace him. We were actually a far better team when our striker got sent off. Do you understand this? Like, I know that people are going to be like, oh, Benson, you were praising him after Everton. That's how football works, mate. But this game, Newcastle, we're level on points. We're level on goal difference. And he did nothing. It's not like he scored a hat-trick and then got a bit too, like, irritated and got himself... He did nothing. He did piss all. And then got sent off. Absolute embarrassment. Class A embarrassment. Box number 2 is a red for Lavia. And look, I thought Lavia's second half actually did quite well. But again, St James's Park, first 2 minutes of the match, you don't just take the ball on the edge of the area and not expect pressure. Sandro Tonali and Newcastle players are on him like a rash. And Lavia's just there like cruising as if we're 2 or 3 goals up in the second minute. You cannot switch off like that. And look, I spend a lot of time on this channel saying praise to this player, praise to that player. And I get called out for it sometimes. Sometimes my so-called favourites, I give them the flowers too often, but I don't put them under the microscope when I need to. Lavia today, caught in possession. Something we've not seen before. So for that reason, I'm giving it a red. He was the reason that we conceded goal number 1. Box number 3, Trevor Chalobah, I thought was excellent. I thought he was the best defender out there on the pitch. You see at the end of the game, Levi Colwell's giving it this. We're losing. We're down to 10 men and you're giving it this. Trevor Chalobah has been almost sold here. Almost sold there. The only guy that can keep his head. But no, we're not going to sell him. Or we are going to sell him, sorry. Honestly, I thought Trev did very well. And to be fair to Chelsea, yes, we lose 2-0. But to be quite honest with you, the second half, we could have had goals. We could have scored with Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez. But in the end, I think you've got to praise Trev. I thought he was excellent and helped Chelsea manage the game. Caicedo as well. I thought he was absolutely magnificent for Chelsea. So many times bodying Sandro Tonali, bodying Bruno Guimaraes, bodying Newcastle players. And I just wish, right, this Chelsea team, setup, ownership, everything. I wish we could channel the energy of some of these players, like Caicedo, like Chalobah, who understand how to cope with pressure moments. What we have seen in this 90 minutes of football at Newcastle is a team that bottle it under pressure, is a team that aren't ready to cope with massive pressure, atmospheres, no idea what to do, losing our heads, left, right and bloody centre. Box number 5, game management, yellow. I say yellow because in the second half, we actually dealt with having 10 men really well. We looked at the second half and we're like, do you know what? I don't think we've got anything to lose here. Credit to Maresca for this. Credit to him, honestly. And if you look at box number 6, I've given him a yellow box too because, yes, it looks like we can only play with one way. The second half, yes, we waited, crossed. But whatever he said at half-time actually gave us a chance in that second half. And listen, I was there on my live stream, and I'm thinking, I don't think we've got a sniff here. Newcastle away is one of the hardest fixtures you will ever play in a Premier League season. When they've got the fans behind them the way they do, when they've got something to fight for, the way that they did at the start of this game, throughout this game, towards the end of this game, it's such a hard place to go. Second half, we were the better team. We genuinely were. They sat back. We put loads of pressure on them. We couldn't score because all we do is get it out wide. I don't know what to do. Put it in the box to who? The bloke who got sent off? Nah, don't flipping get me. I don't want to talk about Nicolas Jackson on this channel again until the summer. That has made me sick to the pit of my stomach. Sick to the pit of my stomach. Sent off in a game like that. Pratt. Class A Pratt. Don't even show up to Stamford Bridge. Don't buy a ticket. You're not allowed in the stadium. Piss off. Get out. Pathetic. Honestly, I'm livid. Livid. Let me know the 6 things you learned in the comments down below. I always thought we were going to lose this game. Newcastle are a great team. Great fan base. Great manager. Credit to them. Well played, Newcastle. Eddie Howe, well done. I'm happy he's also recovered from his illness. Very happy about that. But Chelsea... Nick... Oh,